Good evening, this is Pete Hall, name is still down there probably, sitting here tonight with my new Jack the Ripper mug from the Jack the Ripper Museum. Different jumper I hope, so you don't think I've got the same jumper on all the time. And a Beatles box set. So what on earth could I be doing? Looking at another Beatles album. Let's have a look and see what we've got tonight. I've reviewed White Album and With the Beatles. No, I haven't. White Album, Beatles for Sale, which gives you a clue what tonight's is. It is, indeed, With the Beatles. Sideways and the way up. So I can put the rest away. And what I'm going to do is go through the tracks one by one and put them in order from my least favourite to my favourite. It's something that a lot of people are doing nowadays, and I thought, well, blow it, I'm jumping on the bandwagon. And it is fun, and I quite enjoy going through all my old Beatle albums again. And so anyway, this one was their second album in 1963. Like Beatles for Sale, it has 6 cover versions on, but these cover versions are pretty good. I mean, even the ones that have come lower down, they're still pretty good, whereas the ones on Beatles for Sale I just didn't really like. So, and again, Beatles for Sale is not a great favourite of mine. So here we go, With the Beatles, 14 tracks as there used to be in those days. And number 14, how many we got? We've got 1, 2, we actually started off with 3 cover versions. The first is a cover version sung by George, which is a bit sad because when I did Beatles for Sale, his cover version, I can't remember which one it was now, but his cover version also came last. It's coming last here again. His version of Roll Over Beethoven has come in at 14. But I don't mind Roll Over Beethoven. I'm not a huge rock and roll fan, and I have to admit I prefer the Electric Light Orchestra's version. So that's coming at number 14. And another confession coming up on this one at number 13. Now this is the John Lennon vocal. It's another cover. Done originally I think in this country by Bern Elliott. But I have to admit I prefer the Flying Lizards version from 1979. Great version, that one. So Money, That's What I Want, has come in at number 13. And number 12 is another cover version. This one used to be quite high. Why I'm holding this still I don't know, so I should put that down. This one used to be higher on my favourite tracks on here, but it seems to have, I don't know, over the years I've sort of gone off it slightly. You've Really Got a Hold of Me, and that's come in at number 12. And number 11 is the Beatle original. Hey. And this one I actually only found out today, I think, that this is actually sung by Ringo, which shows you I haven't really heard this album as much as some of the others. This one was the song that gave the Rolling Stones their big hit, big first hit I should say, and it's I Wanna Be Your Man. That's coming at number 11. I like the song, but it's just 10 others are better. And this is one of them, number 10, another Beatle original, Little Child. Again, it's a nice little rocky number, not too high up, but it was never one of my favourites, but it's sort of fair to middling at number 10. At number 9 is another cover version, this time sung by George. It's a bit higher. Devil in a Heart, this is a good song. There's 2 other cover versions above this, but yeah, this is a good one. So that's number 9, Devil in a Heart. You're keeping up? I do hope so. Let's sit and look at that, that's better. Number 8, we've got 3 John Lennon vocals here. At number 8 is All I've Got to Do. Funnily enough, I had this list to do this morning, ready for doing this evening. All I've Got to Do was actually my 3rd favourite, and now I've actually listened to it and some of the other tracks on this album. It's gone right down to number 8. So here we are, John Lennon, All I've Got to Do. Can't remember how it goes. It's weird, this album. Oh yes. Yeah, that's what you're getting. I never play very small snippets. If you ever want the album, go out and buy it. There you go. And if you're Beatles fans watching this, you probably got it anyway. So there you go. All I've Got to Do. And so that's sort of the bottom half done. We've got 7 gone, 7 to go. And at number 7 is Not a Second Time. Another Lennon McCartney. Well, I call them all Lennon McCartney. Obviously, John wrote some, Paul wrote others, but it's a Lennon and McCartney original. Not a Second Time, and that's coming at number 7. Number 6 is another cover version. John's vocal on this really good. It's done by the Marvelettes and the Carpenters. Here's this version of Please Mr Postman. That's coming at number 6. So we've made the top 5, and the top 5 is fairly dominated by Paul, as quite often these Beatles albums are. At number 5, now this one actually starts off about number 9 or 10. And again, when I was playing this album through again today, I thought actually I really like this song. So it's shot up a little bit to number 5. It's Hold Me Tight, and that's number 5 from Paul. Number 4 is one from George, and that's one of his early hits, but I really like this one, Don't Bother Me. So that's coming at number 4 for George. Okay, top 3 time. Little snippets maybe. At number 3, this one was number 4, and it's gone up one place since I did it this morning. And this, probably not a lot of people's favourite on this album, probably a bit lower. But I just love Paul's interpretation of this old standard. And it's number 3. One of my earliest recollections of this album from the 60s as well, Till There Was You. Good stuff. That's number 3. You're only getting clips, nothing else. Number 2. Now number 2 is the opening track. It's a raucous, good old John Lennon number. Yes, the other day when I did Beatles for Sale, the top track for me was No Reply, which was the opening track. This very nearly made it again, the opening track, but it's actually coming in at number 2, It Won't Be Long. It won't be long, yeah. So that's number 2. And at number 1, for me this was always going to be the top song on this album. It's one of my favourite Beatles songs of all time. Most of the people who know me know that Paul was my favourite Beatle. I love his just simple songs he used to do. As much as I like John, a lot of his songs I felt were very much of their time, whereas Paul tends to write more standards. That's what I think anyway. So it's quite obvious which one's number 1 if you're a Beatles fan. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Still love this. Brilliant song. So that's it. At number 1 is Paul McCartney's written All My Loving. So that is the album with the Beatles, from 14 to number 1, from Roll Over Beethoven to All My Loving. So I hope you enjoy that. If you've got any comments to make, your own, or about the order, what order you'd have them in, please leave some comments below. I'll be really pleased to see some comments, likes, even dislikes, even abuse. I don't care. As long as I get a few comments, I'm quite happy with them, and I can always get rid of the abuse. So there we are. That's another one. I'll be back with another Beatles album to look at. We'll also be doing Sparks, and depending how much I enjoy these, I may even do some other artists soon too. But at the moment, that's another Beatles album done with the Beatles. Thanks for watching. See you soon.